According to 2023 NAR Homebuyers and Seller Generational Trends by National Association of Realtors, 70% of younger millennials and 46% of older millennials were first-time homebuyers. So in today's video, we're going to do a complete comprehensive first-time homebuyer guide, breaking down the process from start to finish. Hopefully this will be of value. So let's get into this. So you've decided to start your homeownership journey and you just don't know where to start. This is going to be the video for you. We're going to break that down. According to NAR, in 2021, there's many home buyers that actually have some regrets of when they purchased their home. Maybe they felt like they paid over asking price or they didn't get informed properly. Now, those home buyers are in a way better spot now than they were before buying those homes, but they just had some regrets about the process. And so it's important that when you're buying a home, you have a clear understanding of what everything looks like, what the process is, so that you don't have those same regrets. So we're going to start with the very beginning piece, which is just the initial preparation, which is a few different things that we're going to look at. We want to look at where your credit score is. We're going to look at where your income is, and we're going to look at where is that down payment and closing cost coming from. The first piece that you want to look at when you buy a home is you want to know where your budget is. You may qualify for $600,000, $1 million. You may qualify for a massive house, but if you don't want a massive payment, you need to really assess that budget and make sure you have a completely broken down understanding and loan estimate so you know the process, you know what your costs are, and there are no fees that are going to pop up. There's nothing that's going to happen at the end that's going to give you any sort of buyer's remorse in the loan process. Now, when we move on to the next piece, which is the financial assessment piece, we're going to look at a couple different things. So when you're setting that initial consultation, the best way to prepare is to get with a loan officer like myself. And so I do have to say, if you get some value out of this video, please hit the bell icon, like, subscribe, and feel free to email me for any business inquiries or if you have any questions on getting pre-approved. So let's move on to the financial assessment piece of what we're going to look at when you're getting pre-approved for your home. We're going to look at three different things. We're going to look at income, we're going to look at credit, and we're going to look at assets. The credit is basically telling you if you qualify and what program you qualify for, and the income and the assets are going to tell you how much you qualify. So here again, you want to make sure that you have a very complete and clean budget put in place, because you may qualify for a lot of more home than you want, and you want to make sure that that monthly payment is going to be something that's not going to put you in a house poor position. So once you have your financial assessment done, you have a clear understanding of what your budget plan is, you have a clear understanding of your closing cost, your monthly payment, things of that nature. Now we want to look at what program we're going to do. So there's different types of programs out there. I actually went into this in my What is a Mortgage video, but you can look at programs like FHA, conventional, VA, USDA. There's down payment assistance products out there like CalHFA, which I also did a video on. There's GSFA Platinum. So you really want to make sure that when you're setting up your plan, you're doing your financial assessment, you're getting a clear understanding of all the products you may potentially qualify for and what those final costs look like. This is important because there's oftentimes we will see a client come from an out-of-town lender or a lender that they got online where the lender is not necessarily as invested in their transaction, and they're not as responsive to the client, and they don't give them all of the information, and they don't give them all of their options. And this is one of the reasons, according to that NAR article, that people can have buyer's remorse, because they don't have all the options presented to them. And then when they get in their home, they find out that there was a program out there, or maybe they should have been in a different type of loan. And they have remorse about that. So it's really important that when you're meeting, you have a full, clear understanding of all the products that are available to you and what programs you could potentially qualify for. So a couple financial pitfalls that you want to avoid, right, is buying too much home, overextending yourself, buying a car when you're in the middle of the escrow process, buying furniture when you're in the middle of the escrow process. These are things that can actually not only affect you, in closing on your home loan, but it can affect you financially if you're over leveraging yourself. So you really want to set a clear budget plan. What does that look like? What are you comfortable with your housing expense? And then go from there. We also want to remember that your housing mortgage expense is not going to be your only expense. You're going to have things that pop up. Maybe you want to get the house cleaned. Maybe you want a gardener. Maybe something pops up on your air conditioner. Maybe something pops up, just little repairs here and there. These are all expenditures that you're going to have to cover now as the homeowner, because now that you are the owner, you are responsible for all of these things. Rather than when you're a renter, you just get to call your landlord up and tell them, hey, this is broken, and they come fix it. Now you are responsible for that. So once you've identified, your budget plan, where you're at, what you're comfortable with, now it's time to identify the needs and wants that you want in your house. Now, I'm not a realtor, but I've been doing this long enough to tell you, you need to have an idea of the area that you want to live. Do you have kids? Do you want them in a certain school? Do you want an HOA? Right? Some people don't like dealing with HOAs. They can be a pain in the butt sometimes. Do you want a condo? Do you want a big backyard? Are you okay with a small backyard? Do you want a big house? Do you need a small house? Do you want a mother-in-law suite? So these are all things that you need to create a list and have an idea of what that perfect home looks like. Now, here's the key thing. You're never going to find the perfect home. Don't walk away from a home because the paint's bad on it or there's little things that you need to do. As the homeowner, you have the opportunity to change all of those things. What you want to look for is, does this home have the meat and potatoes and the structure that I'm looking for? Is it close to the school? Is it close for my kids to go to the school they want, right? So make sure that you consider all of those options when you're setting up. Next in place is your home search, right? So you're going to start the home search, and this is where you're going to get with a realtor. Now, typically when you're identifying your needs and wants, you're going to do that with a realtor. Okay, you're not going to do that with the lender. So you'll already have a realtor. And here's the thing. Some people will try to purchase a home without a realtor. It's not a wise decision because a realtor is, one, up to date on typically all the real estate laws with contracts and things of that nature. And they have a clear understanding of how can I get my buyer in this home and negotiate the best possible deal for them, right? Can you get seller cost? Can you get a price reduction? These are things that your buyer's agent's going to be able to do and negotiate on your behalf. After doing this for a good while, for over 5 years, I have quite a bit of experience when it comes to buyers doing for sale by owners. And I can tell you firsthand that these never go super smooth. They are always back and forth, buyers hot and cold a little bit because they feel like they're not getting exactly what they want. Typically, the sellers are unreasonable because they don't want to pay any fees at all. They don't want to pay a realtor to list their house. They don't want any clear marketing. So they think their house is typically worth more than it really is, which causes you as a buyer, when you're buying a for sale by owner, to get taken advantage of sometimes. If that seller says, no, my house is this, and you want it really bad, you're not going to have a realtor that's going to comp that house out for you, tell you what that house is worth and what you should actually be paying for it. So there's a lot of important things that a realtor does that go unnoticed, and it's a huge reason of why you should hire a realtor. So the home search, once you hire that realtor, they're going to set you up with some online platforms after you've established what you're looking for in that home. And they're going to start sending you homes on this, and you're going to schedule showings with that realtor to get set up on that. The next piece is you found the home that you want to put an offer on. You're pre-approved. You have your budget plan. You have a clear idea and understanding of what that monthly payment and closing costs looks like. You now found a home. Now, I always recommend, hey, once you know the home that you want, cross-check that with your lender. What is that payment going to be? What is the rate today? Maybe it took a couple months for you to find this home. Rates change daily. Check in with your lender, get a new monthly payment on that house, get a closing cost estimate on that house fully broken down, and make sure that lender is including absolutely everything. This is when your realtor is going to negotiate the offer for you and is going to likely give you a recommendation on, hey, this is what I think you should offer for this house, but you can offer what you want at the end of the day. They're going to give their professional recommendation. Typically, their recommendation is going to be based off of how can I get my buyer in this home while, negotiating him a good price for the home. Sometimes there's multiple offers on the home, and if an agent's getting that information, they're going to be honest with you and tell you, hey, you can't lowball this house. You're not going to be able to get credits. So another really key and important part. in the process with a realtor. And once you're in the escrow process, how long does that take? Well, according to Investopedia, it takes 40 to 50 days, which I guess is typical nationwide, but we typically see it take anywhere from 21 to 30 days, and you can actually close as quick as 30. You don't necessarily want to rush it though, because you want to make sure you have your inspections on that place. You want to make sure that you have a clear idea of what that home is and what problems that home has. And if there is a lot of problems, that doesn't necessarily mean, okay, we need to back away right away and back out. It just means, hey, what can we negotiate with the seller to repair some of these issues that have popped up on the house? So once you go through the escrow process, let's say it takes about 30 days, you're going to go and sign your final docs. That's after you've been approved through your loan. As a lender, we've asked you for tons of documents by this point. You've probably been driven crazy by the lender. You're going to sign in person with a notary. That final packet of documents that has everything laid out, it's going to be the most accurate statement that you'll receive throughout the whole process. You'll sign those documents with a notary in person, and once those documents are signed, you're typically going to fund the same day, or you're going to fund the next day, and you're going to record the same day, or you're going to record the next day. All it means for funding is just the lender's sending the funds to the escrow company so that the seller can get paid on the sale of their home. When it's recording, it means that your name is being put on the title and the lender's lien is being put on the title of the home as well. So after that, you're moving in and you're basically getting the keys to your home. As a new homeowner, there's going to be quite a few things that are going to pop up. We mentioned there can be some expenditures. So I'm going to go through a couple of them here as like a little bonus for some homeowner tips. You're going to want to make sure you're performing regular inspections on the property. You want to make sure the property is not doesn't have any issues, doesn't have any pest things popping up, any termite issues popping up. And things of that nature. Next piece, you're going to want to look at some seasonal maintenance. So spring, you're going to want to focus on exterior maintenance like gutter cleaning, roof checking, and landscaping. Summer, focus on optimizing cooling systems. This is actually really important. Try not to, if you live in a hot area, try not to blast your AC all summer because it's very hard on the air conditioners. And just ask an AC business their most frequent time of repairs, and it's going to typically be the summertime when people are blasting their air conditioners 24/7. Fall, you're going to check your heating systems and prepare the home for winter. Winter, insulate pipes and ensure the heating systems are working efficiently. I'll put all these guides in the description so that if you want like a little tool book of some things that you should check on your home, you'll have it down there. You want to do your safety checks, so you're going to want to make sure your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors have their batteries completely replaced and they're all good, up to date. Ensure your fire extinguishers are in good condition. Kind of a funny side story. When I bought my first home, personally, I didn't think of getting a fire extinguisher in my home, but my father-in-law brought me one, obviously because I was married to his daughter, and he was like, you're going to have a fire extinguisher in this house. So he got me a fire extinguisher, and I would highly recommend it. We've never had to use it, by the grace of God, but things can pop up, and it's important to have something like that readily available. You'd be surprised how little people actually have a fire extinguisher in their house. Security systems, regularly check and update your home security features. So we have an alarm system. If you want to get an alarm system, there's a lot of different good systems that you can get out there. We go through a local company called Matson Alarm. Appliance upkeep, cleaning, regularly clean appliances like ovens, refrigerators, and HVAC units. This is huge because especially with these bigger units like an air conditioner, sometimes people don't even clean these things out, and that causes a lot of wear on those systems. It's important to make sure that those are consistently being serviced a couple times a year. Landscaping, right? Lawn care, regular mowing, tree and shrub maintenance, irrigation. Check all your irrigation systems. Make sure they're good to go. Preventative pest control. Guys, it's way cheaper to pay a pest company $80 a month to come spray, make sure there's no termites, than to not do anything and have a laundry list of repairs in 15 years because there's pest damage and termites in your house. Highly recommend getting pest control. You have interior maintenance, exterior maintenance, budgeting. Right now you've purchased your home. The next step is if you don't have an emergency fund, you're going to want to make sure you replenish that emergency fund and try to get 6 months of expenses in there to make sure that you're good to go. So in conclusion, guys, when you buy a home, there's a lot of different steps. Check out my What is a Mortgage video if you want more of a detailed breakdown of the actual mortgage process and what a mortgage is. We'll be doing more videos on specific loan types like FHA, conventional, VA, USDA. So if you could, and this video was helpful for you, subscribe, like, share this video, get it out there. My goal with this channel is just to provide as much value to you as possible, just give you as much information on the home buying process. We're going to get into investing. I'm an investor myself. We're going to get into financial tips. We're going to get into a lot of different things on this channel that will help you improve your net worth and help you grow. So if this video was helpful, let me know in the comment section. I appreciate you watching, and see you on the next one.